Welcome back, Small Town Solutions. Today we're going to try the deep fried turkey. First thing you're going to want to do is take your raw turkey, put it into the pot, add your water to see how much oil you're going to need. You don't want to have too much oil. The next thing you're going to do is make the butter Cajun injection. So melt your butter on the stove, about 3/4 of a cup. Add about 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. Then you're going to want to add in a couple splashes of Worcestershire sauce. I'm probably butchering that name, but that's okay. Next thing you're going to want to add in is a garlic pepper. These are just the spices that I'm using. You can use whatever spices you'd like. The next thing you're going to add in is your Cajun seasoning. Again, just a suggestion. These are the spices that I enjoy. The next thing you're going to want to add in is a garlic pepper, no salt added. Then you're going to want to go ahead and mix all this together, incorporating it with the melted butter. This is something that you're going to do about 24 hours before you're going to want to do anything with this turkey. Next, you're going to want to take your Cajun butter injection, and you're going to want to inject it into the bird. The kits that come for these deep fryers usually come with these big needles. The problem with these needles is spices like to jam up inside of the holes, so that's why you don't want to use full garlic or anything like that. Go ahead and inject the turkey, getting into the deeper parts of the meat. Pay special attention to the white meat, the breast meat. That does need a little extra help. So go ahead and inject all of the areas. As you can see, puffs up under the skin quite nicely, and that's how you know you're getting where you want the the injection. Next, we're going to work on the brine. So we're going to add in 1.5 cups of kosher salt. Next, we're going to go in with 2 cups of golden yellow brown sugar. I would have measured this, but unfortunately my brown sugar kind of went a little solid, so I couldn't get it in the measuring cup. But this is about roughly 2 cups of brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar. The only difference would be the molasses content. Go ahead and give it a stir to make sure your salt and brown sugar have been dissolved. If there's a little bit left undissolved, that's okay, but the better dissolved, the better it is. Once you're good and happy with that, you're going to go in with 3 tablespoons of whole black peppercorns. You can use crushed up peppercorns. The recipe that I'm going by does say whole peppercorns, but you can use cracked, but you just don't want fine peppercorns. Next, you're going to go in with bay leaves, about 6 to 7 bay leaves. If you want to use fresh herbs in this brine, that is perfectly okay. You can use thyme, rosemary, kind of whatever herbs that you want. The only thing I had on hand were these dried bay leaves. Next, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of that garlic pepper, the no salt added stuff. We already have enough salt in here. Next, we're going to add in 4 cups of apple juice. You can use apple cider. It's totally up to you what kind of apple juice you want, but this is just going to give it an extra level of flavor in the brine. This turkey is going to sit in this brine for 24 hours. So you inject it, now you brine it, and then you're going to let it sit for 24 hours. Another thing that I like to add to these brines is orange peel and lemon peel. As you can see in the image below, that's an easy way to get your lemon peel and orange peel, is just use a potato peeler. Then you're going to want to roll those oranges and get all the citrus flavor out of it. Next, you're going to go ahead and find a vessel big enough to hold the brine mixture that you've made, the turkey, plus 2 gallons of cold water. We've just found a bucket from our local hardware store and designated our brine bucket. Go ahead and dump the hot brine into the bucket along with the cold water, 2 gallons of it. Give it a mix up, make sure everything is incorporated, make sure that there's no salt or sugar stuck to the bottom of the bucket. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and add all of the lemons and oranges that you grabbed all that peel from. So all I do is crush it in your hand and then dump them inside the bucket. Once you're good and happy with all of the oranges and lemons, go ahead and take your injected turkey, which has now been sitting on the counter for about half an hour, and put it into the brine bucket. As you can see, there's not a lot of room in here, but if you have a little extra room, go ahead and top that bucket with ice. You want to make sure that this is as cold as you possibly can get it. As you can see, I didn't have a lot of room, so I didn't get as much ice in there as I want. Go ahead and put the lid on this and put it into your refrigerator for at least 24 hours before deep frying. Unfortunately, my fridge was a little full, so the snowbank will have to do. 24 hours later, this is what you look like. The bucket has come out of the snowbank. It is really cold in this bucket, which is great. Make sure you get all the oranges and lemons out of the way, and you're going to want to make sure that this turkey is nice, dry, and you're going to want to warm it up before you even think of putting it into that oil. So I've taken it out of the brine here, and now it's going to sit on the counter for about 45 minutes to come up to room temperature. And I'm also going to pat dry this turkey so that there's no water or ice, which is very dangerous when you're deep frying a turkey. Next, you're going to want to grab your pot and start adding your oil. Earlier in the video, you saw me have the oil level. Keep that in mind, because now you're going to want to add the oil to that fill level. You don't want to have too much because you will boil over, which is the dangers of cooking turkeys in a deep fryer. Go ahead and light it and bring your oil up to 250 degrees. I didn't go to 350 right off the bat. It says to start low and then bring up your temperature. Once you've hit your 250 degree mark, go ahead and drop in your turkey very, very slowly. As you can see, because it's not up at 350 degrees right now, it's not going to have a violent reaction, but still, I am dropping in this turkey rather slowly. Make sure the oil gets into the cavity, and once you're good to go, put the lid on. Now you're going to want to watch your temperature climb. It needs to hit 350 degrees. It's hit 350 degrees. Go ahead and check the internal temperature. You're looking for the breast meat to be at least 150 degrees. The turkey will carry over, because once you're done deep frying it, you want to let this turkey sit for at least a half an hour before carving. So there will be a little bit of carryover. So 150 degrees is what you're looking for. And as you can see, I've hit it perfectly. The outer skin has become a lot darker than I was expecting. That might have been because I had the oil briefly come up over 350 degrees. I hit about 370, which was a little too warm, but that's okay. Once you're satisfied with the temperature, you're going to go ahead and, using a safety mitt or a glove, because this is going to be very hot, go ahead and evacuate your turkey to an awaiting pan. As you can see, it is a little darker, but it still tasted absolutely unreal. And there you go, guys. That's my attempt at deep fried turkey for the first time. As you can see, the meat was perfectly tender and juicy, and man, did it taste good. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember to follow, like, and subscribe, and see you again next time.